Have you ever stood up from a chair and thought to yourself, why does standing up feel so heavy now? Maybe the stairs look steeper than before, or a grocery bag suddenly feels as heavy as a rock. Believe me, you're not the only one who feels that way. Many people age 60 and above begin to realize that their bodies aren't as flexible as they used to be. Muscles feel softer, legs weaker, and the confidence in their own bodies gradually fades away. But I want you to know this. Losing muscle strength is not inevitable, and regaining it completely possible with just one small daily habit. Sounds hard to believe, I know, but I'm not talking about going to the gym or running every morning. What I want to share with you is something incredibly simple, doesn't take much time, and is easy to do. Something your body will thank you for every single day. Let me tell you a little story. About a year ago, I met a man named Earl at a community party in Oregon. He was 74 years old, but he looked spry and strong, carrying folding chairs back and forth like it was no big deal. When I asked him what his secret was, he just smiled and said, "Every morning I do one thing, just one thing, and it makes my legs feel alive again." Can you guess what it was? Not supplements, not fancy equipment. It was simply moving his body using his own body weight for 5 minutes each morning. Not heavy or exhausting exercise, but small movements that remind the body, I'm still alive, and I still need to move. And Earl did this every single day, never missing a morning. Let me explain more clearly. When you wake up in the morning, your body has just spent several hours being still. Your muscles are asleep, joints feel stiff, blood circulation is sluggish, and your sense of balance is practically asleep too. But if you take just 5 minutes to gently activate your muscles, for example, sitting and standing from a chair a few times, or slowly rising onto your toes while standing in the kitchen, you're sending a clear message to your body. I still need to use these muscles, and your body will listen. Muscles operate on the principle of use it or lose it. The scientific name for muscle loss due to aging is sarcopenia, but Earl jokingly called it lazy muscles. These muscles aren't completely weak or broken. They just become lazy because we stop waking them up every day. And this isn't just about strength. It's about balance, reducing the risk of falls, and most importantly, freedom. The freedom to walk without worry, to climb stairs, go for walks, or even just take your dog out in the yard without feeling afraid. I also remember a woman named Dolores, 68 years old, living in New Mexico. She used to be very active, swimming, hiking, volunteering at the senior center. But after a fall that broke her ankle, everything changed. She moved less, her muscles weakened, her back started aching, and she didn't even have enough strength to attend church anymore because she dreaded the stairs. Then one day, her doctor gave her a very simple exercise. Every morning, stand up and sit down on a chair 10 times without using her hands. At first, she could only do 4, but she stuck with it. After 3 weeks, she could do 12. 2 months later, she returned to church without needing anyone's help. And she told me, I feel like myself again. Like I found the part of Dolores I had lost. That's the power of a small habit. You don't have to change everything. You don't need machines or a personal trainer. You just need persistence, gentleness, and to begin from exactly where you are. You might be thinking, I have knee pain, or I just had a hip replacement. That's okay. You can still make adjustments. If standing up and sitting down is difficult, you can start by simply sitting and lifting one leg off the floor, holding for a few seconds, then switching legs. Or rotate your ankles while sitting and watching TV. The important thing is to activate your muscles. Wake them up. Remind them that you still need them. Just 5 to 10 minutes a day. Like brushing your teeth or drinking tea. is enough to create a big change. Your body loves consistency. When you treat it well, it responds to you. And from those small actions, strength returns. One day you can do it once, then 5 times, then 10 times. And from there, you walk more steadily, stand up more easily, feel more confident. Not to go back to your 20s, but to fully live in your own body at the most beautiful age of maturity. So if you remember just one thing today, let it be this. Let movement be your morning greeting. Gentle, but full of vitality. And you'll be surprised to see your body still holds so much untapped potential. Now, let's move on to another small change. One that can help nourish your muscles from the inside and restore them as if you were in your 40s. If the previous part was the key to waking the body from the outside, then this part is the fuel that powers your strength from within. Because muscles don't just need to be moved, they also need to be nourished properly. And you'll be surprised to know that just one small change in your daily diet can help your body recover faster and become stronger, just like younger people do. Except they don't realize they're doing it. I'm talking about getting enough protein, but in a way that's suitable for people over 60. When you hear protein, you might think of thick cuts of steak or heavy meals. But in reality, we don't need massive amounts of protein. Just the right kind, at the right time, in a way that suits an older digestive system. Let me tell you a true story about Mr. Richard, 72 years old, living in Boise, Idaho. He used to eat 3 full meals a day, never skipped a meal, but always felt tired. Just walking one loop around his neighborhood made his legs tremble, and climbing stairs made his knees feel like they would buckle. He went for a general checkup. The doctor said he didn't have anemia. His bones were fine, calcium levels were good, but he was lacking protein for his muscles. Sounds strange, doesn't it? But what many people don't know is, the older we get, the harder it becomes for our bodies to absorb protein from food, especially when the digestive system isn't as robust as it used to be. Back when we were 30 or 40, eating a sandwich or a bowl of meat soup was enough. But now, eating the same thing, the body only absorbs half the protein. After that checkup, Mr. Richard tried changing just one small thing in his breakfast routine, adding 1 portion of easily digestible protein each day. Some days it was a boiled egg, other days a cup of unsweetened Greek yogurt, or a scoop of plant-based protein powder mixed with warm water. That's it. Just that. But after about 3 weeks, he began to feel completely different. Walking no longer made him feel wobbly. Standing for long periods didn't strain his back. Even his wife said, "Your face looks rosier again. You look healthier than all your old buddies." The reason is simple. Protein is the building material for muscles. Every time you move, even just standing up and sitting down a few times, your body sends a signal. I'm in use. I need repair. If you supply protein consistently and adequately, the body will use it to repair, reinforce, and regenerate muscle tissue. If you don't, it will temporarily borrow from the muscles you already have, and you'll gradually become weaker without understanding why. That's why I suggest you start with one very small change. Give a little protein to your breakfast. Don't let it be just a cup of tea or a slice of bread. Try adding a boiled egg, a cup of plant-based milk, or a bit of low-fat cheese. Your body needs materials to recover, and breakfast is the perfect time to begin. A friend of mine, Mrs. Susan, 65 years old, living in Florida, once told me, "I've skipped breakfast ever since I turned 45, because to be honest, I just don't feel hungry in the morning." And I said to her something very simple. Try imagining driving a car without filling the gas tank. That's what it's like for your body too. A few weeks later, Mrs. Susan decided to make a small change. Each morning she drank a glass of unsweetened almond milk and ate a slice of whole grain bread with a boiled egg. Not much, but enough to wake up the body. And now, every afternoon she walks 3 laps around the park near her home. She's always the one who takes the initiative to go grocery shopping and carry the bags for the whole family. With quick steps and a vibrant smile. You see, a small daily habit, whether it's movement or nutrition, holds great power when you maintain it consistently. And when those two habits are combined, your body will start to remember how to be strong again. What matters is not how much you eat, but what you eat. And when you eat, young people can skip meals and eat irregularly, but after the age of 60, the body needs rhythm, consistency, and care. A breakfast with protein helps stabilize blood sugar, boosts energy, protects your muscles, and even supports better memory. If this morning you only had a cup of coffee, then tomorrow, I invite you to try adding a boiled egg. Or if you don't eat eggs, try a cup of low-sugar yogurt or a small scoop of plant-based protein powder mixed with warm water. Just one simple action like that. But if you stay consistent, it will make a huge difference. Because the wonderful thing about the human body is that it always wants to recover. No matter how old you are, no matter how long you've neglected yourself, you just have to start. You just have to give it a chance. And I'm here to remind you, you deserve to feel strong again. Not to run marathons or do anything extreme, but to walk through each day with confidence, ease, and control. Now, after waking up your body from the outside and refueling it from the inside, let's move on to something just as important: how to maintain balance and coordination so you can not only stand steadily, but walk confidently and live solidly as the strongest version of yourself. After jump-starting your body each morning and fueling it with the right nutrition, we now come to the third key. Something that might seem small, but it keeps you from falling, from getting injured, and most importantly, helps you feel confident with each step you take. I'm talking about maintaining balance and coordination. You see, after age 60, our bodies tend to forget how to coordinate between the eyes, inner ears, joints, and brain. That's why many people feel dizzy when turning quickly, wobble when walking on slick tiles, or even lose balance when turning around to look behind them. I still remember visiting my father in the countryside. He was 76 at the time, still sharp and eating well. But one day, while washing his hands in the bathroom, he bent down to pick up a bar of soap and fell backward. Not because it was slippery, but because he lost his balance from turning and shifting his weight too quickly. Luckily, he only had a minor bruise. But from that moment, I realized muscle strength alone isn't enough. We need to keep the body flexible and ensure good coordination between all its parts. And the good news is, you can improve this with very gentle exercises. No equipment needed, no large space required, and only about 5 minutes a day. I suggest starting with a simple one-leg stand. Stand behind a sturdy chair. Gently place your hand on the backrest. Then slowly lift one foot off the ground and hold for 10 seconds. Then switch legs. If 10 seconds is too long, start with 3, that's okay. The goal is to focus on balance, not to force yourself. Or even simpler, stand in the kitchen, place your hands lightly on the counter, then lean slightly to the left, hold for 5 seconds, then lean to the right. Repeat a few times on each side, gently like a soft dance. You see, these movements that seem so simple actually help your brain train coordination with your legs. They also activate the small muscles in your ankles, knees, and hips, the ones we often overlook. A friend of mine, Mr. James, 69 years old, living in Ohio, once shared, "I still go to the gym regularly, but every time I go to the supermarket, just stepping down a few stairs makes me hesitate because I'm afraid of falling. So I showed him a very simple exercise. Each morning, stand on one foot for a few seconds to train his balance. He did it consistently every day, never skipped a day, for a whole month. Then one morning, he called me, his voice full of excitement. I just walked down 5 steps in my backyard without holding onto the railing. For the first time in 3 years, I smiled, because I knew it wasn't just 5 steps. It was 5 steps back to confidence and freedom. I know you might be thinking, I'm already this weak. How could I possibly do those exercises? But my friend, we start from where we are. No comparisons, no pressure. You can sit on a chair, place both feet firmly on the floor, and simply lift your heels. Hold for a few seconds, then lower them down. Repeat slowly. Just like that. The important thing is to reconnect with your legs and your body's sense of balance. I believe that every morning, if you spend just a few minutes talking to your body through gentle movements like these, you'll start to feel like yourself again. No longer someone hesitant, afraid of falling, afraid of losing control, but someone who is proactive, steady, and full of confidence. Because you know what? When we reach our 60s, 70s, or 80s, the most wonderful thing isn't staying young. It's staying in control of our lives. Choosing to stand up when we want to. Choosing to go outside when the weather is beautiful. Choosing to take our grandkids to the park without worrying we'll get tired or trip and fall. Just one habit each day. Waking up the body, nourishing it with the right nutrition, and keeping it balanced is enough to help you live healthily, joyfully, and fully every single day. I'm not saying everything will change overnight, but I truly believe that once you begin, your body will respond. And day by day, week by week, month by month, you'll start to witness a quiet miracle. You're gradually regaining the strength you once thought was lost. And in the end, you'll realize it's not age that makes us weaker. It's when we stop believing we can be strong again. If you found these insights helpful, don't hesitate to leave a comment. I'd love to hear your story. Please click like on the video and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any future content about senior health. For now, I wish you a new day full of energy, joy, and steady, confident steps. Because you deserve to live in good health, not just because you've lived long enough, but because you still have so much more life left to live.